Hi, my name is Jim Bandsuh, and this is some of my work here at the Bonfoy Gallery. And some of my background is basically I started off as a commercial illustrator back in the dark, dim 80s, a million years ago. And I was an airbrush artist, actually. I did a lot of cool, shiny type and that kind of thing. It was very popular back then. Then in the late 80s, I moved to Los Angeles and I worked in the film industry for 25 years doing illustration work and conceptual stuff like that for film and commercials. And during that whole time I was doing paintings like this, but it was more of a sideline. I was so busy with the other work I didn't have time to delve into this as much as I wanted to. And since I've come back to Cleveland from Los Angeles, I'm not doing any film work anymore, so I'm able to do more of these paintings that I've always wanted to do. I'm using my time now to do this type of thing. What I like to do is photorealistic painting. I've always liked that. Even when I was in art school, I actually went to school not far from here, down at Cooper School of Art back in the late 70s, early 80s. So, and that's the first time I ever got into doing oil painting. And most of the paintings I did as a student were kind of realistic looking. I wasn't an impressionist or anything like that. So I just continued on with that. The reason I do what I do as far as subject matter, it's just fun. I like to call it fun art, fine art kind of thing, where you just look at it and hopefully it makes you smile. It's almost like what I did in the film industry in a way, because it's all, to me, entertainment. It's sort of, films are a visual medium, obviously painting is a visual medium, so if you do something that hopefully makes somebody smile or happy or gives them a good mood, then that's what I was trying to accomplish with these, kind of in a way nostalgic kind of paintings. And if you notice, most of these few samples here, they look older, old toys and old comic pages and things like that. And that's why usually even the old blocks are kind of, these are really old. Some of these are got to be from like the 60s or 70s that I found in my travels. But I noticed that most people can relate to realistic stuff. In a way, to me, it's kind of like almost like magical. They'll look at it and say, "Well, that looks so real. How did he do that?" It's like a magic trick. It's fake in a way, but how did he do that? So I enjoy doing that kind of thing because I know people kind of appreciate, realistic look on certain things. I mean, other paintings, impressionistic and stuff like that is, color field stuff is great, and that invokes moods as well. But there's not as many people doing, photorealistic stuff. It's pretty intense. It takes a while to do these paintings. So. I'm always looking for nostalgic type things if I can find them. I don't want to do anything like that's really contemporary in the sense of I wouldn't want to get a plastic toy of Transformers or something, because that's the 2000s and it doesn't have the same appeal to me or the same look as stuff from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. A lot of the old comics that I use are from the 60s and 70s. Games are from the 60s, 70s, and early 80s. I look like some of the old marbles, that kind of thing. But I look for stuff in like flea markets, or even nowadays, of course, you can go online and find stuff. And get a lot of my stuff from Amazon. Find old things and some new things that are kind of fun looking. Like some of the robots, I don't have any here, but some of the robots are newer. They have a nostalgic feel to them. They still look old. So I use those, but I'm always on the lookout for old tin toys and material like that, so I can do my still lifes with that. When I went there, I did work on a couple of films there and some commercial work, but I also did some paintings while I was there. And I joined a local community group, and it's like not quite like a club, but it's kind of an organization. And I had a couple of shows with them. I mean, it was a group show, and we put up some work at the group show. But it was interesting because this whole different, feel out there. They have a different historical background, with the Maori people that live there. And so there's a lot of interesting, you get a lot of different directions in paintings and artwork there that you don't get here in the United States. So it was interesting seeing that kind of stuff as well. As far as the future things, I'm doing paintings along the same basic line. I just try to change up the subject matter and the still life objects. Instead of like a light background, I'm working on some ideas where it's a super dark background. So it's different. Every background I have is pretty much light or colorful. I'm thinking of doing a series that feature like direct lighting with a lot of dark background to it, like almost like the old masters paintings, like a Rembrandt, where you got all this dark background and all the foreground's all lit. So it'll be that kind of thing I'm looking at doing in my next group